What's up, everybody, and thank you for listening to Mastering the Mindset. My name is Dariusdotch, and I'm an actor, hip-hop artist, and fitness and life coach. And I'm here to personally help you train and improve your mindset so that you can, 1, become the best version of yourself mentally, and 2, gain focus and motivation to be able to take action and achieve the success in life that you want and deserve. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to my channel, and at the end of this episode, if you liked it, please share it with a friend or a loved one or someone who would benefit from hearing this message. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm ready to go on this journey with you, and that journey begins now. All right, and welcome back to another episode. So this is going to be another short one. I think that's 2 in a row now. And it ain't because I don't think the topic ain't good enough to talk more about it. It's just that it's a conversation that won't take long. And ain't no reason on beating a dead horse. You're going to get it right away. So let's jump in. Okay, so I know the title of this probably sounds corny or cliche or weird or whatever, but you might be surprised by it and maybe not even realize how many people, maybe even you, don't love themselves enough and how we need to love ourselves more. And that's what we're going to talk about today, how to love ourselves more, and also why people don't love themselves the way they do. And that just sounds crazy, right? Why wouldn't somebody love themselves in the first place? And loving yourself, what it really comes down to is accepting yourself. Because when you decide to accept yourself, who you are, love is present. And that's a major barrier to self-love. If you don't accept yourself, then you more than likely are going to have some form of self-hate, the judgment, the criticism, the wishing for certain things to be different. And on the other side of that is acceptance, right? And within that is love. And we don't see this in kids, right? You don't see a 2-year-old with self-love issues. Little kids and elders, got to throw elders in there, but they are the ones that don't give a damn about what society thinks, about what you think. They are their true selves. 2-year-olds because they haven't learned self-hate, and old folks because they didn't live too long to give a damn about what anybody think about them. They are who they are, and they say whatever the hell they want to. But that inner critic you may have, you being hard on yourself for whatever reason it may be, that was learned. It ain't something you were born with. And why is that? Why can it be so hard to accept ourselves? Well, it's because we have been socialized. Society got a hold of us. We have to fit in. And it really starts with our parents, right? Kids are crazy. You got to be told, hey, don't jump off that. Hey, don't spit on the wall. Hey, don't yell and scream all day. Don't act a fool. And it's necessary, right? There's no way around having to have your kids fit in with that kind of thing, right? But that's kind of where it starts. That, hey, you crazy kid, this ain't what you can do out in society, so sit down. And again, there's no way around that. There has to be some kind of construct. Kids have to be socialized. The other day I was in the store and this kid, he just decided that he wanted to just run as fast as he could everywhere in the store. And society tells us that, hey, we don't run in stores. Me at 36, I can't just start running all over Target as I shop. But as kids, running, yelling, spitting, jumping, climbing all over the place, all these things that to them are just them being their natural selves. Because they're kids. That's what kids do. But at some point, they get to a point when they realize that them doing what comes natural to them, being their full selves, they realize that is not accepted. And it's a small thing to compare to more bigger, important things that you teach your children, but it's the start. It's that seed being planted. Also, children are reprimanded 8 times more than they get praise. 8 times more. And I'm not trying to tell you how to raise your kids. Hell, I don't even have kids myself, so you shouldn't listen to me and what I think about parenting anyway. But what I'm trying to get at is, this is the start. So in their brains, when kids get reprimanded, told to stop doing all the crazy stuff that they do because they're kids, in their brain, they see that as me being my full true self is wrong. Again, no way around it, but the seed is there. And fast forward to you being an adult as you live life. And now that seed has changed to your personality traits, your career choice, your bank account, the way you dress, the way you see yourself. Now it can make you feel like there's something wrong with you or something that needs to change. Maybe you feel like you're not good enough. And a lot of times people repress themselves, right? Who they truly are because of it. We can look in the mirror and not feel sexy enough. We can get caught up with how many likes we don't get or do get on Facebook and Instagram. Am I married and have kids at the quote unquote right age? What we can't do, we can't live our lives and base who we are and how we see ourselves on whether or not we get acceptance from society. How do we get to a place of self-love where we're validating ourselves based off of who we are and not needing anybody else's approval? Struggling to accept who you truly are is struggling with self-love. And at some point, at some point in life, you learn that who you truly are isn't acceptable. And we have to unlearn this. It's not our looks, our jobs, our cars, our social media followers. It never will be. Don't try to get other people's approval to finally start approving yourself. You have to do that. If you're short, big, skinny, tall, broke as hell, we all been there, whatever it is, you have to learn to accept yourself first. Look in that mirror and look at those flaws and say, yep, this is me. I have those. But all these flaws, with all the things I truly love about myself, all those together is what makes up this beautiful soul I have. This is me, right? You wouldn't go to a forest and pick out a few trees and be like, that's a fat tree. That tree got a funny looking trunk. That tree over there is too short. That's one skinny tree over there. We don't do that, right? We don't judge individual trees when looking at a forest. We see it as beauty as the whole forest. So don't do that to yourself. You are more than your flaws. Your flaws make you the beautiful person you are. It makes you unique. Allow yourself to be human. And we all know ain't nobody on this earth perfect. Be okay with that, including you, that you're not perfect. And when we learn to accept who you are, it brings peace and calm to your life. Even the things you know you can change or work on, like things about your mindset, it's okay to accept the fact that, hey, I am a work in progress. This ain't the finished product. Acknowledge and love your abilities and be okay with the things that's not perfect. It's easy to be your own worst critic and listen to your negative thoughts. But when you feel self-criticism coming on, put it on hold and take a step back. Take a step back and think about what you would tell a friend who was thinking this same thing about themselves. Learning to accept who you are can be challenging, especially the parts of you that you believe are not your quote unquote best. We've all had some sort of problem with self-acceptance in the past, and that's okay. Embrace the present, gain perspective on the past, and love everything in between. Rediscover yourself, your inner child that did all those things they loved, who was who they were and didn't care about anything else. Self-acceptance is keeping you away from self-love. And once you accept yourself, love is going to be there. So that's what I got for you today. If you like this episode, please share it with somebody that can benefit from this, somebody who is a friend or a family member, somebody who has goals and is trying to improve their lives. So thank you again, and let's get it in.